So this video is going to show you how to download some images of herbarium specimens using the Mexican Autonomous University portal. So its acronym is UNAM, and we're going to use that as our herbarium code for the folder to put these into. So in the Bacopa project, so Tippery Lab Research, Bacopa folder, then there's Bacopa specimens, and down here is UNAM. And I've put a few in here already. They're identified by their accession number, so this unique number, catalog number for the specimen. I'll show you how to find that. And that just becomes the file name. So we'll be able to maybe sort these into folders according to the species that they are, identify them, measure them, whatever we need to do. So what we're going to do is download the images and then upload them, so download them from the portal and upload them to the folder on Google Drive. So hopefully you'll be able to do all these steps yourself. So the website is Datos Abiertos, DATOSABIERTOS.UNAM.mx. And if you don't have a background in Spanish, this is a chance to practice some of your Spanish. I think you probably get through this okay without knowing too much Spanish. Some of the words are similar, or I'll at least show you where to click and do some translating for you. So Datos Abiertos is open data, basically. And we're gonna go down here to the Herbario Nacional, the National Herbarium, Institute of Biology, Instituto de Biología. I don't speak Spanish, but I pretend to. So 1,291,000 specimens in the herbarium. All right. Oh, sorry. What I really want to click on is this down here. Ver registros is the view records. And you can run a search on a scientific name. So we can just go in here and type in Bacopa. In the search field, todas las palabras, all the words, and then that'll be fine. We're just typing in one word, so any of those would probably work for us. I've gone, just in preparing the video, gone to a couple of these links and downloaded these records. And this will probably be useful for you if you are using your web browser to do this. As a thing to make some progress on our project and also take up some time if you've got it. There's quite a few of these to grab, and I sometimes have an automated way to do this, and I haven't found the automated way to do this one. So it looks like we might just be faced with grabbing these individually. So as many as we get will be a good start, but it'd be really neat, I think, to have this as a base for what we'll be looking at. As it says over here, most of these are from Mexico, and then there's just a smattering of them from other countries, mostly close to Mexico. So if you click on one of these, I've got this in a different color, meaning I've already clicked on it. The record number over here, 880717, is also present on the list of files that I've got there, so I don't need to add that one. And I'll go ahead and skip that one. I don't know that these come through in order. They certainly don't. So as you're doing this, yours should be colored a different color as you follow the links. I'll just kind of double check and make sure I haven't got these already. So 30647 is not in the list of records that I have. So I'm going to click here, and they have a lot of automatically generated, or not automatically, but someone has typed in the information about this. So it has catalog number, and down here, collector number, date of collection, state, locality, altitude. So lots of good information digitized here. I actually have this in a spreadsheet, so we don't need to digitize the label data, but we are interested in looking more carefully at the specimens. So if we click on this, that should pull up an image viewer. And sometimes herbarium websites don't let you download these, but fortunately we can here. So I'm on a Mac, I'm going to do a control click. You also could right click, and that should work to get your dialog box here to save image as. And I'm going to go and put it in my downloads folder, and I'm going to call this one 30647. And let me just clean out my downloads folder here. So I'll just delete everything, and the images that I'm adding, they'll all be the only things in my download folder. Taking the sweet time on that one. Okay, so that's pretty much it. We just have a specimen with a label number on it, an identifier. This should also come up in the automatically generated spreadsheet. So in that UNAM folder is a different folder that's got basically the output from the website, and we can search for 30647. Should come up, tell us we've got Bacopa repens, that's the right species name, and collector number, date, location. So if we need to piece this all together and sometimes it's useful to use the locality information to verify that you've got the right species name. We should be able to do that. So going back, let me just grab a couple of these. I'm going to use my back button here. So back to the list. Now that one that I've already gotten the record for is a different color. I'm going to click on the next one down. Collected in 1887. How nice is that? So save image. Unfortunately, you got to change the file name every time. So 30649. I did escape there, back, and working down Bacopa procumbens. This one's actually, right now, this species goes by the name of Mecardonia procumbens. I don't know how many of those there are going to be. So I don't know if it's worthwhile to keep going. Probably just makes sense to kind of do this a little mindlessly and just grab everything we can. Save image as. So the image number should be this thing that's stamped on there, 762846. I ran into one already that was handwritten, and if you needed to compare, I guess you could even like copy this number and then use that as your file name. Let's do that on the next one. So Bacopa monieri. Click, click, click. I'm gonna actually grab its. I'm gonna copy this. So I use the copy shortcut for that one, which wasn't worthwhile because there's no image. So this one has no images, so just ignore that one. Don't know where it tells us that there might be images. Also no images. This will be faster. That's too bad. That would have been an interesting species to look at. Well, this is going quicker than I thought. All these ones that don't have images, there's nothing to grab for those. There's one. All right, so I'm going to actually this time do a little shorter version and grab the catalog number. So copy the number, click on the image, right click, save image as, and paste that, and that gets me the file name. And back. So I don't know if I have all the time savers on here. Looks like we're at 50 specimens at a time. If you wanted to, you might be able to grab a species at a time. So let's say you did Bacopa monieri. That gets you 250 specimens. That looks like that's about half of what's in their database is this one species, Bacopa monieri. And that might be worth, we probably don't need a whole lot of that one species. Here's maybe a little more reasonable one. So if we spread our results across the diversity of Bacopa rapens, only 25 specimens. The list of species you should find in Mexico is this is probably a good one to use. So back to the Bacopa species list, this column called Mexico, this is the checklist of Mexican species. These named species should be ones you'll be able to find. There we go. Yeah. See, there's a variation on that. None of the above. Okay. If I remember, this was like one specimen we had from the GBIF database, so possibly a species that is not a name that's not really used too often. So I guess sort of however you want to do this, it benefits us to have a lot of images and mostly across a variety of species and not just like 100 species, 100 images from the same species. Once you've got those, I'll go back to the UNAM folder and I'm going to grab my downloads folder. On Google Drive, you can just take these images and pull them over. They're fairly large files. I've got a fast internet connection, but you might have some patience issues as you wait for these all to get transferred over. So on Google Drive, they'll get placed in numeric order. And you could use that if you want to run a search and find out if you've already run into that species. So Mexico, right, rotundifolia, saltzmanii, moniaria, that was a whole bunch. This is that widespread one that's found all over the world. Rapens, we didn't find any of Valerioi, sessiliflora, and that might be it. So still like 200 or more specimens, even if you're not looking at moniaria. 2 specimens. All right, copy. You'll figure this out by now. And save and paste. And I'm gonna cheat. On my computer, I've got the records. The Google Drive is synced up to my hard drive, so I can do a little cheat here. Interestingly, these both are from Nicaragua. So there aren't records of this species in Mexico that I can find. Okay, so I'll stop the video. You can take some time to grab images and put them into the folder, and that will help us in the next step we do will probably be to look at those images in more detail and verify their identifications and maybe gather some morphological data from them.